Hello everyone, this is Mohamad Mishly from Canada. I am very glad that I'm given the opportunity today to speak to all of you guys and to share my story with you. I know that most of you or all of you are still undergraduates, and thus it's so important for you guys to listen to a message from a person who was sitting in your chair one day, a person who had the same circumstances that you have today. 11 years ago, back in 2008, I remember very well that I was passing through a very difficult time in my life. I was a fresh graduate who just finished his bachelor's degree in information systems. I was that enthusiastic guy who's willing to accept new challenges, to start a new life, to go to the industry and prove himself. I remember also that I had a detailed plan of where should I start, how should I grow, what degrees and expertise I need to learn. All I needed back then is a company or a person to help me and give me the chance, the opportunity, and open the first door for me. But I couldn't find. I started searching for a job everywhere in Lebanon. I started knocking every door, but none of those doors opened. This situation was really hard and it lasted around a year until I received my first job offer in Beirut, in Lebanon. It was an administrative assistant position and I accepted it right away. I considered it back then as a first step in a 1,000 miles journey. This was an 8 a.m., 5 p.m. job. I decided to start this job and be fully committed to it. But in parallel, I've started 2-3 other lines. The first was the master's degree. I got enrolled in an MBA, master's degree in Beirut. And then I started searching for courses to support my profile, like the PMP and the CAPM. Those were really important courses for me back then, at that time. The third thing is that after a short period, I've started looking for opportunities outside Lebanon, abroad. After 6 years of working in Lebanon, I received my first abroad job offer. It was from Europe, from Portugal, from one of the largest e-commerce companies in Portugal. And the position was product planning manager. I accepted the offer and I relocated from Beirut to Porto, where the company headquarters are located. And it's the same place where I started also my PhD in Portugal. Then I decided to leave Europe and move to somewhere in North America, and it was Canada. So I moved after like a couple of years in Europe. I moved to Toronto, and after a month of relocating to Toronto, I started my new startup, my first startup, from a small place in my apartment in downtown Toronto. It was a small den, and in cooperation with my business partner, we started the first startup, which is called SchemaZone. It was a long journey. If I want to look at those 11 years, it was really a long journey, full of hardships and obstacles. Around 7 years in Lebanon, couple of years in Europe, and then moving to Canada. It's like a couple of years now. Today, exactly after 11 years, looking at this time span, at all the story that happened to me in this 11 years, thankfully, I've completed my 2 master's degrees. The first in business administration, the second is in literary studies. I finished as well my PhD degree in industrial and systems engineering. I've traveled to nearly 20 different countries in Asia, Europe, North America, and in Africa. for different purposes, for business and educational purposes. And currently I am running 4 startups from my office in downtown Toronto, in University Avenue. The first is SchemaZone, the second is Kids International, the third is Taskcubator, and the fourth is Innoframe. And I'll be speaking a little bit about each. And most importantly, and on top of all of this, I have a family and I'm a father of 2 children. The first startup is called SchemaZone. It's a consulting, training, and contracting company, and it's running small to medium-sized projects, mainly in the States, in Canada, and in some countries in the Middle East. The second startup is Kidsy International. The website is kidsy.com. It's an e-commerce marketplace for kids' luxury fashion. We have around 12 people, from software engineers to designers, marketing specialists, and other. We're expecting to launch the platform by 2020. The third project, or the third startup, is Taskcubator. It's a freelancing services marketplace, and we're also expecting to launch by the beginning of 2020. The fourth is called Innoframe, which is the result of my PhD thesis. Innoframe is a business framework, a business model that I've designed over the last 2 years. We're planning now to turn this business framework into an end product that we can release in the industry, in the market, and that companies can benefit from. I know that you're all searching for that great job or successful business. I know that you're all waiting for the right opportunity where you can grow and succeed. The main keys to achieving this are hard work and insistence. Believe me, things might appear complex, difficult, and unclear in the beginning. But once you decide to take the step and to accept the challenge, you'll figure out shortly that it's doable. Move out from your comfort zone. Do not stick to doing routine activities. Go and do different things. Do big things. Well, people might see those things as crazy things, but as long as it's right, go for it. Time flies, and things around us are changing very fast. What seems interesting today might be outdated tomorrow. Hurry up and go get the right weapons that will help you in the battle of life. This weapon might be a degree, a course, program, a connection, anything, whatever. Go get it. All you need is to turn this enthusiasm into real action. Never say too late and never say too hard. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to start doing. Thank you, everyone. Special thanks to the organizers and best wishes to everyone.